Hey, yo, folks, insane news day today. So much stuff to get through in these patch notes. First and foremost, the Deadmines are coming. The mini set has finally been announced. And in fact, we've got a cinematic trailer here that I haven't even watched yet myself. So let's pop this open real quick, take a look at the Deadmines mini set announcement, and then we're going to go through a bunch more patch notes on top of that. But let me open this up here and get my headset on, actually. So I can hear the beautiful sounds of the Deadmines.
Defiance gang, step.
Uh-oh, sorry, I messed it up. Uh-oh. Sorry. There we go. Got it. I won't maximize, so we'll watch what this says.
Gang, step up. Through twists and curves that turn your nerves, the Deadmines cast a spell.
Our wrist is clear, we have no fear. The thunder went so well. Everywhere we look, see what we took. The shards will shine all night. Scallywags that bother us will tremble from our minds.
But wait, there's more. Another mine offshore to sail the seas.
And sever all our scores.
You say there's more, another stormwind war.
But wait, there's more. Let's find the Commodore.
We'll help Van Cleef to settle beefs, and I'll get my encore.
What's this? There's more? More scrubbing of the floors? Now do the job, you scurvy slobs, or I'll toss you overboard.
But wait, shards, horns, crystal, cash the board. Deadmines to explore, hands on floor. Wait, there's always more.
Oh my god, the Deadmines, dude, I love it. That was awesome. That was a sick song. I don't know if we always get a song for the mini set, but that was great. So yeah, Deadmines, November 2nd. That's Tuesday of next week. 35 unique new cards, pirates, and tradable synergies are the focus. $15 or 2,000 gold. Still, I think one of the best deals in Hearthstone. That's awesome. 4 legendaries, as we expect. Great stuff. Sounds like we're going to get some card reveals over the weekend and the full mini set revealed on Monday. So stay tuned for card reviews coming up. That's exciting. So mini set, we expected Deadmines or some kind of like teaser leak stuff that said Deadmines. Thought they would maybe go a little extra to kind of get it to the level of the Mercenaries. Following the storyline, they're like level 40. Deadmines used to be a lower level dungeon. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Deadmines is awesome. I'm happy to see it. So moving on here to the rest of these patch notes, as you'll see, there is a lot. Zoom out here a little bit again, and I'm not going to go through this in like insane detail, but I had a chance to look at these a little early, so I'll try my best to recap it efficiently, but also there's a link in the description to these full patch notes if you just want to check that out. So, Mercenaries update. Already 5 new Mercenaries on the way to Mercenaries, which in some ways is cool. If you're loving Mercenaries and you know you're caught up, you're probably going to be excited to have 5 new characters to play and test out, and frankly, it could already shake up the Mercenaries meta a little bit. There's another side of that that's kind of scary for me, because it's like, I thought I might eventually be able to keep up with Mercenaries, as I put out a video yesterday. I don't know if that goal is suitable anymore. Kind of abandoned that goal, but this would have made it even harder to keep up, right? It's just like new Mercenaries hitting on the regular means it's just more and more commitment people are going to have to make to getting all this stuff upgraded if they want to play it. So a little bit cool that it's new content, but also a little bit challenging and intimidating in other ways as well. So anyway, taking a quick look at these, I'm not going to go through like every single stat here and everything, but Edwin is showing up. Looks pretty cool. We got like Edwin when he was a worker before he became King of the Defias or whatever. King's probably not the right word, but you get the idea. Leader of the Defias. Pretty fun stuff. I did take a look at, he had an ability here I thought looked insane. One of his equipments, Black Flag 4. Adjacent pirate abilities are 4 speed faster, which is kind of crazy. So that makes me really nervous. In particular, there's a lot of attack synergies in pirates and some speed-based stuff. This Assassin's Blade for Edwin looked kind of nuts. Attack an enemy if it hasn't acted yet this turn, gain 5 health and attack again. So it's kind of like some Moreau's ability where he gets a double attack, but I think it's actually easier to proc. You don't have to have kind of a combo. As long as he can go under someone's speed at 5, he'll get that double attack off. And it doesn't seem that hard. A lot of people have higher bottom floors for speed than 5. So his base stat line too being 1380 is pretty big. So seems scary. We've also got Sneed showing up here, who looks awesome. He's rocking a bunch of cool tanks and stuff. Looks really cool with all his goblin gadgets here. And he's got some bleed stuff, which we haven't seen much of yet in Mercs outside of PvE anyway. So that's pretty cool. Got some bleed synergies and a lot, again, of attack manipulations and some defensive stuff here as a protector, like attack debuffs and such. We've also got Eudora showing up here. She looks awesome. She summons cannons. I haven't actually seen what those look like in the game yet, but it sounds like a really neat mechanic. Summoning out a cannon and then using different abilities to fire it and manipulate and synergize with the cannons. So that sounded pretty cool. Also a fighter. We got Mr. Smite featured heavily there in the Deadmines intro teaser thing, trailer. And what does he do? I don't remember. It's just more attack manipulations, right? You can see the word attack here sort of everywhere. He is a rare, so I'm not sure he'll be the most competitive, but there are pirate synergies. These are all pirates. So you're probably going to want a lot of these together. We also got a new Murloc here with Cookie the Cook. He's not a pirate. He is a Murloc since he's just the chef. I guess he doesn't count as a pirate, but this could give Murlocs that extra piece to make a Murloc build feel a little bit better. And he's got both Murloc and pirate synergy payoff. So you can kind of maybe fuse those two worlds together on the back of Cookie the Cook. That would be sort of exciting to see a Murloc pirate build. Also, some new bounties coming. I think this is really good news. Like giving new stuff to do in PvE is nice. So we're going into like Blackrock Spire and stuff here with Blackhand. So new ways to use your characters in PvE is good. I would be really sad if this wasn't in the update, so really excited to see this. I hope there's more and more of these on the way and coming soon. That'll make the PvE experience, I think, much more rewarding for people. So, moving on to Battlegrounds here. We've got Diablo coming to Battlegrounds, as we'd already heard teased, and we heard about this mechanic as well. Every 4 turns, all enemies fight the Lord of Terror and your warband for loot. Now, we still don't really know what the details of that mean, but it sounds awesome. He's available to everybody for free. You don't have to have Battlegrounds perks to get Diablo during this event. So starting November 2nd, when this patch hits, you'll have a chance to play as Diablo. I suspect it's going to be fun even to play against Diablo, just because it sounds like a cool event. So either way, it sounds like a great way to shake up Battlegrounds. Also, Sneed here. Now, these other two, they are going to demand you have the Battlegrounds perks, unfortunately. So you have to have perks to get these early until they come out later. Later on, Sneed's Replicator is give a friendly minion death rattle, summon a random minion of the same tavern tier. So it's kind of like Lich King and Yasharaj had a baby here, but you don't get to keep the minion like Yasharaj. But nonetheless, a potential way to get some stickiness on board and maybe snipe a cool summon with like a tier 6. You know, get a random sticky gas coiler or something that helps you win a combat on occasion. So I'm sure that'll be a good hero power, even at 1 cost. Sounds still like a lot of upside. Although, you know, you don't want to use this in like tier 2s and 3s. Maybe there won't be that much upside. But could fill in curve anyway. Cookie the Cook here throws a minion in your pot. When you've gathered 3, discover from their minion types. So in this case, like if you see some stuff in the shop you might want to discover later, it doesn't have to be a friendly minion. You can throw a minion in the shop into your pot after you've done that 3 times. It's a 0 cost, 0 power. So, you know, do it over 3 turns. You get to discover like a Murloc or something, or, you know, you could just do one of each. If you're not sure, a Murloc, a pirate, and a dragon, and then you get to choose maybe that dragon if you decide you want to pivot into dragons later on after those 3 turns have passed. So this seems kind of interesting. I mean, just getting a minion basically for free is nice, but then also getting some kind of choice and direction as well sounds intriguing to me. I think this will be sort of sleeper good based on my limited understanding of Battlegrounds. Now, next up, we got Duels, and there is a lot of stuff coming to Duels. So it's not exactly new stuff other than Diablo, but a lot of changes to treasures, like a lot of changes to treasures. And I'll try to go through these fairly efficiently. Also, Duels will be getting access to Deadmines cards, of course, which is great. Like, get to experiment with all kinds of new Deadmines stuff. So first up is Diablo. He's getting a bunch of hero powers and signature treasures. First hero power deals 3 damage to yourself, and then you gain 3 attack and 3 armor. So some cool like self-damage synergies here, since he'll have access to Warlock and Warrior cards, even some Warrior cards too, Battle Rage type type things seem really good with this. Also, just a way to pump out damage at really not a lot of cost of life. Armor synergies might exist as well. Demonic Transformation unlocks after you get you summon 25 minions with 8 or more attack as Diablo. Oh, and Diablo and Duels is also free, which is amazing. So go check out Diablo and Duels. I don't know if he'll like always be available or if he'll just be in the random selection. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Maybe it describes that here, but I didn't read this much detail. But anyway, after you summon 25 minions, 8 or more attack as Diablo, you get Demonic Transformation. Discard a random card. Add a random demon to your hand with the same cost. It costs 2 less. So some potential discard synergies, also with some tempo upsides. Spend 1 and you get a net discount of 2. Maybe some demon stuff to do as well. And then finally, Doom Charge. You gain 66 armor, you get Doom Charge. It's 6 mana for hero power, which is insane. But it discovers a minion from your deck that you summon a copy that attacks a random enemy, then dies. So this is kind of like Maxima Blastenheimer or something for Hunter. It doesn't always go face. It could hit a minion, of course. But if you put some cool like big death rattles in your deck, this could cheat them out and either deal a ton of face damage, maybe, or just get you a sticky board essentially for 6 mana while taking a good trade. So all of these seem like they've got some interesting deck building potential. Moving on to signature treasures here, we've got Claws of Terror, a 6 mana 6/3 weapon. You draw it immediately at the start of the game, and it has some cleave effect. This doesn't seem that good to me. I mean, at some level, just a 6/3 weapon early in a Duels run could be very powerful in itself, but it's a little slow at 6 without the kind of tempo advantage that the Paladin weapon that's similar offers. There's also Fire Stomp, deals 3 to all enemy characters. That includes a face and restores health for each enemy hit. So kind of a big stabilizer swing sort of card here. I think this seems like a really solid AoE. Some healing upside. Apocalypse destroys all minions, and then your opponent takes double damage for the rest of the game. That is crazy. It is 8 mana, thankfully, since it's only going to happen like late. I don't know how big and impactful that'll be, but pretty nuts. I realize I can zoom in a little more here, by the way. Soulstone Trap is a 3 mana treasure. Destroy a minion and gain attack and armor equal to its attack and health. So pretty cool here. Kind of like Vampiric Fangs, but just an upgraded version of that, essentially, that you can always start with. And Hordes of Flame is a 3 mana 0/3 weapon. It adds a random shadow or fire spell to your hand at the start of your turn. So this is a lot like Archmage's Staff in Duels, but again, you get it in your deck all the time. And I think this seems like crazy high value. This thing could be really, really cool. Also, some active treasures that are new. Black Soulstone here is in the pool 2. It's available to everybody except Diablo. It adds a Diablo signature treasure card to your hand, and then it shuffles this into your deck. So it adds one of these cards to your hand, and then you get this back, essentially. So this is high cost at 6 mana. Some of these things wouldn't be playable right away. Seems like it could be very, very slow, but high value, crazy upside potentially. Also, this is a really cool note. Starting on Tuesday, all Duels heroes for Scholomance will have their unlock requirements removed. So if you don't have to have like certain number of cards collected, you can just go in and play any treasure, any hero power for Duels characters. A+ stuff. Love to see it. I'm rooting for Duels. School's out for summer, even though it's October. maybe it's in Australia. I don't know. Summertime there, right? Soon. Passive treasure updates. So we got some big like nerfs and buffs. First, ever-changing elixir is now going to upgrade the cost by 2 instead of by 1. So you're going to skip some pretty big stat jumps there. That's nice. This was really inconsistent before. I think this will very, very often result in minions that are almost always bigger, which is cool. Still kind of problematic with effects, maybe. Oh, there it is. But, still major upside. I need to zoom back out here a little bit. Pillage the Fallen's going to give the weapon +1 attack now, whereas it did not do that before. That helps kind of bump up the averages. All Shall Serve. You're just going to draw a card. You're not going to take damage anymore, which is a big deal because this was really scary. There was already like a fatigue check on this, but now you don't have to risk that extra damage. Some potential downsides technically, but in my experience, that'll make this much, much better. Dragon Blood's going to buff minions in hand instead of on board, and it's going to buff 2 of them by 1/1. That may sound not as good, but it's actually way better because it's hard to get a good big board with like dragon stuff going. You couldn't usually get big wide boards like that. So this ensures that even if you play out just random dragons, you're still going to get some upside on those stats with some hand buff stuff. Floor's Lava is going to give the minion +2 attack now, which, yeah, that's better. I don't love this one much, but there's still some synergies there in rage type things. Grom's arm guards are now going to draw you a weapon at the start of the match. So you can kind of very consistently hit a weapon and make sure that you're utilizing that discount on it right away. That's better. I still don't think these are going to be nuts, but hey, I like the upsides. Mending pools is now going to affect all friendly characters. I already thought this one was like kind of okay. Could shut down certain things like priest. So now that heals minions as well, some additional bonus upsides. I don't think this revolutionizes the treasure, but much better. Freeze solid's kind of crazy. Whenever damage is dealt to a frozen enemy, double it. So instead of just affecting minions and destroying them, now this can actually affect face. Like you could freeze face and double damage to face, which, I mean, Ice Lance is like banned in the base version of Duels, but you can still get it, I think, and multiple frost bolts and stuff, and any kind of freeze minions like those little hero power guys. This could be a very interesting treasure to play around with. Firekeeper's Idol is now going to give an elemental to your hand as well as on board. So just some bonus upsides. I have some like elemental played synergies off this in particular. Invigorating Light is going to give all friendly characters +1 health. So actually your hero will benefit when you play a holy spell. That's kind of cool. Like maybe going above max health here with Invigorating Light. Kind of want to play around with that. Inspiring Presence is going to reduce the cost of any random card in your hand by 2, not just a random minion. So a bigger discount, and it affects any card. So just more rewarded for playing legendaries. I think that's a big deal. 2 mana discounts, far more significant. Hagatha's Embrace, 2 random minions are going to get buffed instead of 1. I still don't know if that's enough to make Hagatha's exciting, but it's kind of like that other dragon one we saw now, but a little more reliable. I think this might actually be kind of decent now. I wouldn't be surprised if this is good. Endurance training getting a little nerfed here, as we're going to see a lot of things are getting nerfed for the same change. Basically, instead of their cost saying but not less than 1, their costs are now going to say but not less than 2. So adding sort of a higher cost floor to these cost discounts for a lot of these different treasures. So that happened for endurance training. Same thing for Orb of Revelation. The discounts are not going to cost less than 2. Corrupted Fellstone getting buffed instead of just a single random minion getting +3/+2. This is going to make it so that your right and leftmost minions both get +2/+2, which is cool because you can kind of stack up one big thing in the left-hand side, maybe play the other stuff off the top, or at least have a little bit of control. Plus, you're just getting 4/4 in total buffs instead of 3/2 per fell spell. So that's a really significant buff for one I didn't think was totally terrible anyway. Eerie Stone is now going to reduce the cost of the minion you get in hand by 2. So much more tempo advantage there. That's really, really awesome. From the Swamp getting nerfed, it's only going to raise a 1/1 bloated zombie. I got to be honest, I haven't loved From the Swamp lately, so I'm kind of surprised by this one. Must be some data and stats that like this more than I have seen or liked it personally. It's not really that overwhelming usually. Now this one's nuts to me. Legendary loot, instead of just getting a random legendary weapon at the start of the game, you're going to get to discover one. This is mind-boggling to me because it's like you're going to get a good weapon 95% of the time. There's not that many low rolls. So this seems like a really high tier treasure now. I think this is going to dominate. Maybe too good, but it looks fun. I'm going to play the crap out of that. Deathly Death now triggers a friendly minion's death rattle instead of just destroying another minion. So I think the idea here was like often that would trigger one of your death rattles, but now it triggers it without destroying that minion. So some cool upsides here for death rattle decks. Altogether now, getting nerfed for the same less than 2, but importantly, it's going to be moving pools. It's going to go back to pool 1. So nerfed, but moving back to pool 1, I think we'll read a little later. Elixir of Vigor, the cost of the minions is going to 3 instead of 1 when you shuffle them in. So a bit of a nerf there. I think this is going to go into a different pool as well. Maybe not ultra rare. We'll take a look. Oops, all spells. You're losing the spell damage on this one. I think it's still really cool cost discount though. So that was sort of nuts before. I think again, this will have a pool change. Meek Mastery is going to have the same, not less than 2. So it's the change there. I think again, maybe a pool change. Rally the Troops, same change, not less than 2. And yeah, here's the pool changes. We got some stuff being removed. Some pretty unimpactful treasures, I'd argue. Small Backpacks is returned. This is exciting. Book of Wonders moving to pool 1. So we're going to get that a lot, actually. That's pretty cool. Oh, From the Swamp got moved to pool 1 as well. That's why it got nerfed. Okay, I see. So nerfed, but in a different pool. I didn't recognize that. So that explains that nerf. Not actually too good. Just got changed. So yeah, those moved all to pool 1. And then Vigor, Oops, all spells, Meek Mastery, and Rally the Troops are no longer ultra rare. They're just in pool 2. All right, moving on to Arena. Deadmines mini set, new rotation for Arena. Also, we knew that the Halazin event is coming as well. Battle ready decks are coming back for anybody who likes those. That's awesome. Booking Mercenaries Carriel coming November 9th. So we'll probably play through that. And lots of bug improvements and changes. So, boom. 21.6 patch notes. Insanely cool patch, it sounds like. I'm excited to see some Deadmines cards. I'm sure we'll see some soon. So stay tuned for card reviews. Thanks for hanging out through these patch notes as always. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, what you're excited to see. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time,